Welcome to Own Your Words. Overactive. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Overactive. Overactive. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. Too active, in a way that produces a bad result. 2. Of part of the body, producing too much of a substance, or reacting too quickly. 3. Of someone's mind or imagination, thinking too much about things. 4. Excessively or abnormally active. Examples. 1. His crazy ideas are products of an overactive imagination. 2. In contrast, an overactive thyroid may result in light menstrual bleeding. 3. Such fears are nothing more than the product of an overactive imagination. 4. The reverse happens in animals that need to reduce heat due to an overactive metabolism. 5. He has an overactive imagination, and sometimes I have to switch off the news if it is sinister. 6. Noah has an overactive imagination, written on every school report I've ever gotten. 7. My mother used to tell me that I had an overactive imagination. Tom said that, too. 8. And, like him, I was chafing against authority, and burdened by an overactive imagination. 9. I get easily scared, thanks to my overactive imagination, and my desire to look into scary stories. 10. An overactive appetite for reward, by contrast, may raise the specter of addiction. 11. The tech sector has the money, and quite frankly overactive imagination, she adds. Perceptive. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Perceptive. Perceptive. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. If someone calls you perceptive, they mean you are good at understanding things, or figuring things out. 2. If you describe a person or their remarks, or thoughts as perceptive, you think that they are good at noticing, or realizing things, especially things that are not obvious. 3. Someone who is perceptive notices things quickly, and understands situations, people's feelings, etc. well, used to show approval. Examples. 1. Her books are full of perceptive insights into the human condition. 2. This book has put democracy and human rights squarely into their historical perspective. 3. He was one of the most perceptive U.S. political commentators. 4. He was intelligent and perceptive in choosing when to make his interventions. 5. High school students are remarkably perceptive and fresh in their views. 6. She was too perceptive not to notice the crusty band-aids, and my favoring the wound. 7. She was too perceptive not to notice the crusty band-aids, and my favoring the wound. 8. I'll be called the loss of such an intelligent and perceptive critic, an especially sad note. 9. But it's not just that the novel is an eerily perceptive character study, though it is. 10. These two smart, perceptive characters are the same age, well-educated, yet unlikely to collide. 11. Her suggestions for dining choices and gallery openings were perceptive and helpful. Postoperative. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Postoperative. Postoperative. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. Relating to the period of time that immediately follows a medical operation. 2. Postoperative means occurring after, and relating to a medical operation. 3. Following a surgical operation. 4. Having recently undergone a surgical operation. 5. connected with the period after a medical operation. Examples. 1. He must devote some of his time to administrative, consultative or post-operative duties too. 2. Postoperative fibrinous uveitis occurred, in most of the eyes in both groups. 3. Postoperative relief percentages were given by the patients themselves. 4. Surgery may be performed with insufficient provisions for postoperative care. 5. Instead, you watch it, say it's somebody else trying to comfort their postoperative toddler. 6. 24 hours later, I met him in the postoperative recovery room. 7. Riders in lockdown are, like everyone else, feeling pale and postoperative. 8. I swipe open the unit, which usually serves as a postoperative area, with my ID. 9. He played his first postoperative performance, unaccompanied, about a year ago. 10. In the postoperative area, Alexandra, still confused from the anesthesia, writhed around. 11. Severe anemia and debilitating postoperative pain complicated her postpartum recovery. 12. I asked her about all the postoperative symptoms I hadn't expected, and couldn't resolve. Preemptive. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Preemptive. Preemptive. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. A preemptive action is made, to keep some other action from being taken. 2. A preemptive action is done to prevent something from happening, especially something that will harm you. 3. Done before someone else can act, especially to prevent them doing what they had planned. Examples. 1. The Treasury has decided to raise interest rates, as a preemptive measure against inflation. 2. The country took preemptive action, against the perceived enemy. 3. Mitchell didn't have to wait until 2023, to write a preemptive last word on the subject. 4. Apparently spooked, Unveil cut its prices attempting what it called a preemptive strike. 5. He had half expected a divine preemptive strike, a thunderbolt maybe, as he queued for the body and blood. 6. Do I need to alert the president, and ask him to authorize a preemptive military strike? 7. It still leaves the state legislature with massive preemptive powers to override local decisions. 8. That preemptive pity proved to be prescient, but it was an easy call anyhow. 9. Both his coups began with a ruthless preemptive strike, from a position of strength. 10. The assaults of schools and law enforcement issuing preemptive warnings. 11. The Prime Minister authorized a preemptive airstrike against the rebels. Presumptive. Meaning with examples. Pronunciation. Presumptive. Presumptive. It is an adjective. Meaning. 1. Believed to be something, or likely to be true, based on the information that you have. 2. Having a good reason to believe that something is true means that it is presumptive. 3. Likely to be true, based on the facts that are available. 4. Based on probability, or presumption. 5. Giving grounds for reasonable opinion, or belief. Examples. 1. He was admitted to the hospital, with a presumptive diagnosis of cellulitis. 2. Now, Biden and Trump are the presumptive nominees of their parties. 3. But Trump is, if not the presumptive Republican nominee, for the 2024 election, then certainly the likeliest candidate. 4. Robert had no sons, so his first cousin, James Crawley, was his presumptive heir. 5. However, there is one point on which the presumptive centrality of space is open to debate. 6. presumptive colonies were counted, and 5 from each positive sample were verified. 7. In that climate of fear, an accusation alone was presumptive evidence of guilt. 8. Forte will be the presumptive favorite, having last raced in the Florida Derby on April 1st. 9. I love having the possibility to damage an image, or to beat up a presumptive image. 10. His youngest son John was to be betrothed to the Count's daughter, and heiress presumptive. 11. Her daughter, Margaret the Maid of Norway, becomes heir presumptive. If you like the video, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos. Meanings and examples are available in video description.